Okay, guys, I'm gonna tell you about why the morning is the best time to be productive. Some people may have told you this before, you may have seen it in some YouTube videos, but I've noticed over the last few months, it truly is correct. Like, the morning, the studying you do, the, work you do in the morning, it's unmatched. You're never gonna do work like that in any other time of the day. And the reason is, you haven't done anything. You just haven't done anything. Because most of the things you do in the day probably will mess up the work you do, right? You probably eat food that messes up your work. Like, I just watched a video yesterday, it was by Hamza, and he talks about how carbs mess with your focus. And obviously you need carbs, especially if you're like fit, if you're trying to build a body, right? You're trying to be fit. You need carbs to prioritize your body, and you will have eaten some carbs if you do your work in the afternoon or whenever, right? But first thing in the morning, if you wake up, you meditate, you gratitude journal, you make your bed, and then you just go straight into your work, you're fasted, and your body isn't processing any food, right? There's no distractions. That's another thing. In the morning, there's no distractions. The street is quiet, there's no one out, and in your house, even like if you live with your parents and your family, your siblings or your parents, they won't be awake. Most likely if you wake up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, because most people's parents don't wake up that early. But, and even then they won't be making noise. And it's just, the morning is just, you have the most capacity to absorb knowledge or to use the knowledge you have. And it's good, also good, because you thrive on routine, right? If you do the same thing at the same time every day, then that thing will become automatic and you do it better and better and better. And same with studying or working or, whatever. This cognitively demanding task, when you do it in the morning and it becomes a habit, not just a habit, but it becomes in a routine. So I'll explain the difference. A habit is something that you do every day, right? Like brushing your teeth. You brush your teeth every day without fail and it just happens automatically, right? A routine is where you do the same group of habits at the same time every day. So, brushing your teeth is a habit, waking up is a habit, let's say meditating is a habit, and reading is a habit. So, your morning routine would be waking up, pooping, I should have said that, pooping is a habit, right? So you wake up, you poop, you brush your teeth, you meditate, and then you read. And then all of that is a routine, because all of these are habits and all of them are done at the same time after one another, right? So if you have a routine and then on the end you just stick on your deep work, and that's the best way you should do your work, right? Your studying, your work, your business work, whatever it is, deep work is the way. You should have an hour to 90 minutes, or if you're really after a bit of practice, maybe you can go to 2-3 hours, but I'd say just start with an hour to 90 minutes of completely focused work. No distractions whatsoever. For the 90 minutes, if you're writing something on your computer, your eyes should not move from the computer, right? You should be stuck to the computer. And this routine is necessary for deep work. You need a routine that you follow beforehand, and it's easiest in the morning because it's easiest to build a morning routine, right? If you have it in the middle of the day, you need something like waking up is something you do every day without fail, right? So if you stick your habits onto waking up, so you have wake up, poop, whatever, and then study. And so you have that consistent routine that will never change. But if you set it in the afternoon, let's say, okay, I'm going to start at 3 o'clock, and you say, I'm going to do whatever at 3 o'clock. Something could come up between the time you wake up and between the time you have to do that deep work, right? And then you have to do the routine before the deep work, you have to do the deep work, and then you have to do like a shutdown ritual at the end, right? There's so much room for error there. There's so much friction between you starting your routine, your deep work, and then finishing. Whereas in the morning, distraction free, no one's awake, everything is quiet, no distractions whatsoever. And it's so easy as soon as you wake up, when you are automatic, when you know exactly what you're going to do, it's so easy to follow the routine, and it's so easy to not break your, not be productive. It's hard to break your habits, which is like, that's what you want, right? You want it to be difficult not to do the work. Because obviously the first few times you do it, it will be difficult, but as you build the routine, as you go through it, you'll realize that there's no friction, right? From you going from one task to another, from me waking up, pooping, and then meditating, there's no friction there. As soon as I wake up, I know I need to poop, and then as soon as I poop, I know I need to get my phone, put on the meditation, and meditate for 10 minutes, right? And then as you do that, the correlation in your mind, is that what you call it? Your mind will know as soon as you finish pooping, they'll know, I need to meditate. And after you meditate, you know, I have to read. And then after you finish reading 10 pages or whatever, your brain will know, deep work now. And then your mind will be in the zone to focus like that. And then a shutdown ritual is just you do the same thing to end off your work every day. So let's say with these videos, I'll say goodbye, click the camera, I'll pack everything away, and then usually I guess goodbye is kind of the saying, but I'm reading Deep Work right now, and what Cal Newport says in the book is, when you finish your work, have something you say at the end after you finish your deep work, to tell yourself, to give your body the signal and your mind the signal that your work is finished for the day. So he says, shut down complete. So after he does this whole thing, he checks his emails, he makes sure there's no important tasks, he outlines what he's going to do tomorrow, and then he says, shut down complete. And his mind is away from work for the rest of the day. So you should do something similar. Have an entry ritual, so a ritual you do before you work, and do it in the morning. Trust me, your best work will come in the morning, especially if you follow a routine like I've said just now. Wake up, and then from the moment you wake up to the moment you finish your deep work, it should all be automatic. You should know exactly what you're going to do. And obviously, if you don't have all these habits like meditation and reading, if you don't have them yet, build them. But if your deep work is your priority, just go straight into that. Wake up, poop, deep work. And then that makes less friction, right? You don't have to rely on you doing the meditation or reading. For me, it's automatic now because it's been a few months now. But for you, it might not be. So if your focus is deep work rather than everything else, then you can do that. Just wake up, poop, deep work. And then you can do your stuff, you can do your meditation and reading after that, just so you make sure you do the most important task first thing in the morning. So, yes. Now is my shutdown ritual. I'll say goodbye, pack up the camera, and then I'll be onto my gymnastic rings workout. Because, you'll see it. Hopefully you'll see the video soon. I'm trying to get to 10 pull-ups, and it's been a week, and at the beginning I did 2, and I keep saying and this week, beginning of this week, I did 3 and a bit, 3.5 pull-ups. So try to get to 10. I don't have a time. I'm trying to get to 10 by the end of the year, which is a few months away. So hopefully I can do that. Wait, focus. Goodbye.